press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, we are in coordination chemistry or coordination compounds. This will be part 14 of our discussion. Okay, so we have learnt many things with respect to coordination compounds. We have learnt about the colors, we have learnt about VBT, we learnt about CFT, we learnt about the crystal field splitting energy and crystal field stabilization energy, how to calculate these. We also learnt in tetrahedral fields and octahedral fields, there is a difference, that is delta T, that's crystal field splitting energy in octahedral field is 9/4 of tetrahedral crystal field splitting energy. That's what we learned already. Besides, we learned about spectrochemical series. How do we arrange ligands in terms of their increasing ligand field strength order? So on the basis of spectroscopical studies and on the basis of colors, we also understood it. We also understood that strong ligands can replace weak ligands, and when strong ligands are replaced by weak ligands are replaced by strong ligands, the color of coordination complex will change. We learned that color of a complex is on the basis of the complementary color, not on the basis of absorption, but on the basis of the color complementary to the absorbed color. So for that we have learned one visualization of colors in terms of that checker, that circle. Right. Today we start a discussion on some important applications of CFT and VBT. So what are different things with respect to crystal field theory and valence band theory, and how do we calculate different parameters on the basis of CFT and VBT? VBT we have already understood, crystal field theory, like the concept of hybridization, like magnetic moment, like inner field or outer field complex, low spin or high spin, and crystal field splitting energies or crystal field stabilization energies as well. Before that, let me tell you one important discussion with respect to the energy calculation of coordination compounds. Look here children, I'll take the same example here into consideration. Say I have Ti H2O6 times 3 plus. I will make use of CFT approach in order to understand it. There are 6 ligands coming for bond formation. So hybridization has to be either sp3d2 or d2sp3 hybridization should be there. Water being a weak ligand, it will split the d orbitals of titanium. So 1, 2, 3, then you got 4 and 5. This will be our T2G set and this will be our EG set. So we have T2G and EG set. Titanium is under +3 oxidation state, so it will be 3D1. So you have 1 electron in D. Understand it well. Now, when you look on the calculations, the absorption of light for this complex occurs at 20300 centimeter inverse. This is the wave number of the absorption peak that occurs for this compound when light is imparted on this coordination complex. It imparts at these wave numbers. We want to find out the energy required to excite the electron from T2G set to EG set. Now there is only 1 electron, and if you excite it, you will get a color, and that color will depend upon the complementary color of the absorbed color, right? We can calculate the energy. Keep it in mind, there are 2 ways of doing it. One is, as I said, 1 kilojoule per mole equals to 83.7 centimeter inverse. So if you want to convert this 203 centimeters into kilojoules, then the kilojoules of energy required per mole required in what? titanium H2O6 plus will be what? It will be 20300 by 83.7. So this is centimeter inverse, this is centimeter inverse. So this will be in terms of kilojoules. The total value comes equal to almost 242 kilojoules per mole. This is almost the energy required for breaking of a single bond. Now certain other things that I want to explain this to you is, now you want to calculate the energy. The wave number of absorption of light is 203 centimeters itself. So we know if you want to calculate energy for it, the energy required to excite it will be in terms of h nu, energy of photon. So E equals to h nu, or we can write down Na into h into nu, because Na will be Avogadro's number. That is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 into h, Planck's constant, 6.22 into 10 to the power minus 34, it will be joule second, into mu, its frequency. We know what is nu equal to C by lambda. So we can write down nu as, because nu equals to C by lambda, as we know nu equals to C by lambda, or nu equals to C into wave number, because 1 by lambda equals to wave number. Am I clear? So we'll have the equation here. I'll make use of that equation. So into nu is C by lambda. So C 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second into wave number. That is how much? 20300 centimeter inverse. Convert these meters into centimeters and you will be able to find out the value for 1 mole E in kilojoules per mole will be equal to exact the same value what we calculated, that is 242 kilojoules per mole. You can calculate it out, children. Now what is this one? This is the amount of energy required for breaking. So technically this will be crystal field splitting energy for the complex. And now this is the energy required to shift electron from T2G set to EG set. Now what if instead of water the complex was under ammonia? Then crystal field splitting will be more or less. It will be more. Energy requirement will be different. And when energy requirement is different, that can be calculated. Because when this complex changes to Ti NH3 6 times 3 plus, then crystal field splitting will vary. And when this crystal field splitting is varying, we can easily come to know the energy required for that purpose will also vary, because these values will remain same, but the value of the wave number will be altered, it will be changed. So if you want to convert that into frequency calculations also, you can do that also, because frequency equals to what? C by lambda. And what is frequency? Frequency is directly proportional to wave number, right or not? Oh yes. So you can write frequency equals to C into wave number. So wave number and wave number is given, you can convert that into frequency. Frequency will be equal to C into wave number. So frequency also and wavelength also you can calculate with respect to this energy calculations. So children, in a particular question, you will be in a position to calculate even wave numbers of the respective things. And if wave number absorption is given, means absorption in terms of wave number is given, you can easily calculate in terms of wavelength and other parameters. Clearly? Right. Good. So yesterday we did one example also in which I said absorption is occurring for 4 different ligands, L1, L2, L3, L4. What will be the strength of the ligands? We discussed that example yesterday. Clear? Good. Let us look on the applications of crystal field theory now. Applications of crystal field theory. Crystal field splitting in octahedral complexes. So we'll talk about an octahedral complex and we'll see what will be the crystal field splitting. First of all, we will take electronic configuration into consideration. Electronic configuration. Okay, then for that electronic configuration, we will calculate crystal field theory we will use. We will use crystal field theory and see the arrangement. On the basis of that, then we will look into hybridization. Then from there, we can look on to spin magnetic moment. So we can look on magnetic moment. So technically magnetic moment and unpaired electrons. So unpaired electrons and magnetic moment we can look on, and then we will be in a position to calculate CFSE, that is crystal field stabilization energy. These are different parameters we can make use of in different configurating systems. Say children, we have electronic configuration of D1. So you will have so many electronic configuration of D1. I won't take a metal system into consideration. I will talk about D1 configuration. D1 configuration or D2 configuration or D3 configuration, any of these three configurations. According to crystal field approach, for all the three, the same will apply. So we will have T2G set and we will have EG set. Whether the ligand field which is given to you is, so we'll talk about the ligand field here. Whether you have strong field ligand or weak field ligand, any of the two, it doesn't matter. Till D1, D2, D3 configuration, the electronic arrangement will remain same. We can have a look here itself. If I have D1 configuration, right, what will be the arrangement I will have, children, here? D1 arrangement will be T2G set will be here and EG set will be here. So this is T2G set, this is EG set. Okay, let us suppose this is under weak field system. I will talk about again D1 configuration. Breaking will occur in octahedral system. This will be T2G set, this will be EG set. Let us say this is strong field system. This is strong field of the ligands, this is weak field. So you got one electron here. And here also in strong field you got one electron. So there is no question of pairing coming to play at all. Right. So in D1, this is the case coming to play. Now let us look on D2. Because this T2G set is degenerate, here also T2G set is degenerate. So in strong field or weak field CFSE is less, strong field CFSE is more. Correct or not? Crystal field splitting energy is more. But till D3 configuration, it doesn't matter for us whether it's a strong field or weak field, because all the electrons that will be present till D3 configuration, all the electrons will go to which set? T2G set. So we can write down, children, that till D3 electronic configuration will become what? T2G3 EG1. We can write it like this: T2G1, 2, 3 and EG0, or you can write down T2G1 EG0 for D1, T2G2 EG0 for D2 and T2G3 EG0 for D3 configuration. Right? Whether you have strong field or weak field, electronic arrangement will remain 1 or 2 or 3. You understood it or not? Yes. Let us use it. If it is D1, did you understand the basic logic here? Whether it is strong field or weak field doesn't matter. You understood basic logic or not? Diagrammatically it will be same. Yes. What will be hybridization? So there are 6 ligands coming for bond formation, right? So the number of hybridized orbitals produced will be, I have written these characteristic properties. Now I will calculate all the characteristic properties one by one. So I wrote these characteristic properties so that diagrammatically and application wise it will be clear to you. Okay. So in a D1 configuration, like you have a complex of Ti, H2O 6 times, then 3 plus, or you have Ti, NH3 6 times, 3 plus, it doesn't matter. So this will be under weak fields, this is under strong field, correct or not? So electronic configuration is D1. So what will be the splitting pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one electron will go to which set? T2G set. Electronic configuration for these, both of these will be T2G1 EG0. Now obviously there are 6 ligands coming for bond formation, 6 orbitals should be provided. These two, that is electrons from T2G, now cannot be used for hybridization purposes, right? So what will be used will be these 2 orbitals. Which set? EG set, that is EG set. dx square y square and dz square. So 2 from D, 1 from S and 2 from P will be used for hybridization purposes. So hybridization in both cases will be DsP2 hybrid, DsP3 hybridization. Now it has made use of inner D or outer D. We know already the difference between inner and outer D. So it has made use of inner D orbitals, right? So it will be inner field complex. When the ligand is what? Water. When the ligand is ammonia, which is strong ligand, even then it will be inner field because of electronic configuration. So keep it in mind. Inner field complexes usually were coming to play when pairing was occurring. But I told you during my discussions that inner field complexes can also come into play when electronic configurations are like that. So children, you have inner field complexes in both cases, whether they are a strong field or weak field. Tell me, what is the number of unpaired electrons? Number of unpaired electrons in both cases will be 1. Magnetic moment, what will be magnetic moment equal to √3? What will be the shape of the molecule? It will be octahedral. These are different characteristic properties with respect to D1 configuration in an octahedral field, whether it is a strong field or weak field. Clear or not? If it is D2, then what will happen? One electron, electronic configuration will be T2G2 EG0. Again hybridization will be D2sp3, but magnetic moment now will be √8 because root of n into n plus 2 is magnetic moment, Bohr magnetons. There are 2 unpaired electrons in T2G set. Electronic configuration is this. Number of unpaired electrons are 2. Right? Hybridization will be D2sp3 in strong field as well as weak field. Inner field or outer field? Inner field. Low spin or high spin? There is no question of low spin, high spin here. Here it will be paramagnetic. That is D1 configuration, D2 configuration and D3 configuration. All will be paramagnetic. All will be paramagnetic. Okay, we forgot to calculate one thing. What about CFSE? So crystal field stabilization energy for D1, it will be minus 0.4 into 1 of delta 0 plus no pairing plus no octahedral field. So it will be minus 0.4 of delta 0 will be crystal field stabilization energy for which configuration? D1. In which field? Strong or weak field? Both strong as well as weak field. Clear? What about D2? Hybridization D2sp3. Number of unpaired electrons 2. Magnetic moment √8. Am I clear? Inner field or outer field? Inner field. Low spin or high spin? Now it is becoming high spin because now the number of unpaired electrons are 2. Again hybridization D2sp3. Now what will be CFSE? CFSE, crystal field stabilization energy will be minus 0.4 into minus 0.4 of delta 0 into number of electrons in T2G. What's the number of electrons in T2G? 2. Is there any electron in EG? No. Is there any pairing? No. So it will be minus 0.8 of delta 0. What does delta 0 mean? Crystal field splitting energy which will be given to you. So crystal field splitting energy, crystal field stabilization energy in a D2 configuration will be minus 0.8 of octahedral splitting energy. Right? Magnetic moment will be √8. Okay children. What about D3 configuration? If I write D3 configuration, it should be easy for you. Number of unpaired electrons will be 3. Magnetic moment will be √15. Again D2sp3 hybridization and CFSE will be minus 0.4 into 3 of delta 0. That is minus 1.2 of delta 0. This will be for D3 configuration, whether it is strong field or weak field. Because till D3 it doesn't matter whether it is strong field or weak field. It will be always inner field complex with magnetic moment will keep on changing. That is paramagnetism will keep on changing because the number of unpaired electrons are increasing by 1 from D1 to D3 configuration, whether the field is strong or field is weak. Okay. Now, important thing. Let us talk about now D4 configuration. Which configuration now? D4. Very good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First of all, let us consider weak field ligand. So when it is D4, obviously 3 will go to T2G set. Okay, in case of weak field system, in case of weak field ligands, when the weak field ligand is there, in weak field ligands, what is happening is the splitting energy between the two, that is CFSE. Let me not confuse you here. I will write delta 0. Crystal field splitting energy in which field? Octahedral field. Because field is weak, the distance between the two, the splitting energy between the two will be very less. Crystal field splitting energy is less than which energy? Pairing energy in octahedral field. This is the rule that we learnt in crystal field theory yesterday in case of weak fields. So what will happen is the fourth electron will love to go to which state? Eg. So electronic configuration of this in weak field will be T2G3 Eg1. Now we have made use of one of the d orbitals. So dx square y square, Eg, one of the orbital set has been used. This will be left as such, no interactions with this at all. And the number of incoming ligands are how many? How many are incoming for the bond formation? 6. It's an octahedral complex. So now in this case, this D will be left as such, no interaction with it at all. Then it will make use of sp3 and 2 from D. So this will be from 4D, this is 4p, and this is 4s. So hybridization will be what? sp3d2. Again, sp3d2 hybridization. It has made use of outer d orbital. So in case of weak field, it will become outer field complex. And what will be the number of unpaired electrons? 4. Magnetic moment in weak field will be root of 4 into 4 plus 2. That makes it root 24 Bohr magnetons. Is it low spin or high spin? It will be high spin complex, because the number of unpaired electrons are more. So there are 4 unpaired electrons. In which field? Weak field. Because when there is D4 configuration, it has a chance to go in either T2G set or EG. And when it is weak field, usually crystal field splitting energy will be less than pairing energy. So electron will go into T2G set, EG set. So electronic configuration will come. All the parameters will come like this. Okay. What if it's a strong field system? Which field? Strong field. I will write all things here now. So if it is strong field, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in strong field, 1, 2, 3. I am following which rule? I am following Gold's rule. Pairing will not take place in degenerate orbitals unless all are singly occupied. Now I got 3 here. There are 2 more. Because now it's a strong field, splitting will be more. So in this case, when it is strong field, CFSE, that is octahedral splitting, will be more than what energy? Pairing energy. At that time, electron would love to pair up or not. So 4th electron will go here. Correct or not? So how many are free now? 2. Which one? D orbital. Inner or outer? Inner. So hybridization becomes D2sp3. Number of unpaired electrons now are only 2. Magnetic moment will become root 8. It is high spin or low spin? It will be low spin complex. So in a weak field, it was high spin, that root 24. Now it is only root 8. So because there are only 2 unpaired electrons, then hybridization will be D2sp3. Inner field or outer field? It will be inner field complex. Clear? So the thing to say is like this, children. In D4 configuration, and what will be electronic configuration? Electronic configuration will be T2G4 EG0. Alright? Okay. Now electronic configuration in weak field. For which one? D4 was what? T2G3 EG1. What about crystal field stabilization energy? What's the formula for calculating CFSE? It is minus 0.4 into number of electrons in T2G plus 0.6 into number of electrons in EG plus pairing energy in which field? Octahedral field. Because this is weak field, there is no pairing, so it will be off. So it will be in T2G how many electrons? 3. So minus 0.4 into 3 plus how many in EG? 1. So 0.6 into 1. There is no pairing, it will be. So minus 1.2 of, minus 1.2 plus 0.6 of delta 0. That will make it minus 0.6 of delta 0 will be crystal field stabilization energy. So what will be crystal field stabilization energy? It will be minus 0.6 because electronic configuration we have seen is T2G3 EG1. Okay, if it is strong field, pairing will occur or not? Yes. What's electronic configuration? T2G4 EG0. So what will be CFSE? CFSE will be 4 electrons in T2G set. So 4 into minus 0.4 of delta 0. Anything in EG set? No. And how many pairings? 1 pairing in which field? Octahedral field. So that will make it minus 1.6 of delta 0 plus 1 pairing. Now the question is, can we calculate the exact value of CFSE? 100% yes. To calculate the full value of CFSE, this crystal field splitting energy will be given and pairing energy will be given. Once both of these are given, you can calculate CFSE with ease. And again I repeat, answer will be in the absorption of wave numbers. Then you need to make sure to convert those wave numbers into kilojoules, depending upon what is the question asking you. Whether conversion is to be done from where? Conversion is to be done from centimeter inverse to kilojoules or kilojoules to centimeter inverse. I told you the mathematical form for that. What is that? 1 kilojoule per mole equals to 83.7 centimeter inverse. Keep this thing in mind. And I told you how to calculate energy also. E. In order to calculate the energy value also, E equals to Hc into Hc by lambda, right? Hc into wave number into Avogadro's number for 1 mole. Am I clear? This is which configuration? D4. Now calculate for D5 in weak field and strong field. Do it yourself, children. Fast. Yes. Now D5 configuration. Let us use weak field first. Now in weak field, splitting has occurred. You have T2G set and you have EG set. Configuration is D5. It is weak field. So in weak field, what will be the condition? Usually in the weak field, what will be happening? It will be given value. So usually in the weak field, crystal field splitting energy will be more than what energy? It will be less than what energy? Pairing energy. So electron at that time would not like to pair up because amount of energy required for pairing will be more. So electron loves to unpair, means go to higher energy state. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now question is very simple. It is crystal field splitting in which field? Octahedral. So how many atoms are coming for bond formation? Faster. 6. So again, all the d orbitals have been used up here. There is no free d orbital at all. So naturally it will make use of outer d orbital. So I will write down hybridization will be sp3d2. Clear or not? Clear or not? Because there is no inner d orbital free. Hybridization sp3d2. It has made use of outer d orbital, so it will be outer field complex. Now tell me, what is the number of unpaired electrons? 5. What will be magnetic moment? Root of 5 into 5 plus 2 Bohr magnetons, mu will be root 35 Bohr magnetons, close to 5.9. So sp3d2 hybridization, outer field complex, when it is sp3d2 hybridization, octahedral shape, correct or not? Now what about CFSE? We'll calculate that here. Crystal field stabilization energy equals to, what's the formula? Minus 0.4 into number of electrons in T2G. How many are there? 3. Right? Of delta 0 plus number of electrons in EG. How many are there? So plus 0.6 into number of electrons in EG. How many are there? 2. This is of octahedral field. Any pairing has occurred? No. So no pairing. So that will be minus 4 into 3. That will be minus 1.2 of delta 0, means minus 1.2. As I said, the electron going in T2G set stabilizes it by the value of minus 0.4. So electron in T2G set has provided this complex with the stability of minus 0.4 of the total crystal field splitting energy. Right? So minus 1.2 delta 0 plus 6 into 2. So 1.2 of delta 0. There is no pairing. So children, crystal field stabilization energy will be 0 for D5 configuration. Keep it in mind. Crystal field stabilization energy equals to 0 in which system? Weak field system. Keep it in mind. So D0 and D5 so far CFSE will be 0. D0 in any field, but D5 only in weak field we have discussed so far. It's only in weak field. Let us change the scenario. Same equation, scenario changed. If now it is a strong field, right? Delta 0, octahedral splitting will be more than pairing energy. So electron would allow to pair up or not? So electron will not go to EG set. In both cases, there are 5 electrons. 2 electrons will be paired. So total number of electrons in T2G set are how many now? 5. But only 1 is unpaired. Then the scenario changes. Hybridization from sp3d2. Now D5 in a strong field system. Hybridization D2sp3. Yes. Inner field or outer field? Now it becomes inner field because pairing has occurred. Then magnetic moment, number of unpaired electrons is only 1. Magnetic moment becomes root 3 in a weak field system, right? Shape remains same, that is octahedral, because anyhow there are how many ligands coming for bond formation? 6. So shape remains the same. Magnetic moment changes in a weak field system. Now let us see CFSE. So crystal field stabilization energy in a strong field will be how many electrons in T2G set? 5. So it will be minus 0.4 into 5, minus 0.4 of delta 0 into 5 plus any electron in EG? No. So in a strong field, electronic configuration will be T2G5, EG0. And how many pairings? 2 into pairings in which field? Octahedral field. Both of these values will be given. You will be in a position to calculate. So CFSE will be minus 2.0 of delta 0 plus 2 pairings in which field? Octahedral field. There is one more way to write this one, children. I mentioned yesterday, electron, it is actually 2 by 5, minus 2 by 5, right? So how many electrons are here? 5. So you can write this equation also as CFSE will be equal to what? Minus 2 by 5 into 5 plus no electron in EG set. And how many electrons in EG set? No electron. How many pairings? Plus 2 pairings in octahedral field. That makes it minus 10 by 5 plus 2 pairings in which field? Octahedral field. So it is minus 10 by 5 of delta 0 plus 2 pairings in octahedral field. This is also one of the ways in which you can write this compound respectively. Which configuration? D5. But it is strong field. So is it a CFSE 0 now? No. If you are asked, What is the ratio of crystal field splitting energy of D5 configuration? Which configuration? D5 configuration in strong field by weak field. So CFSE D5 configuration ratio, strong field by weak field, is strong field, it is how much? 10 by 5 of delta 0 plus 2 pairings, and weak field it is how much? 0. Anything divided by 0 is infinity. That will be the answer for the question. Am I clear with this thought here? You need to analyze the results properly. Which configuration it is? D5. What about D6? Can you do it now, children? D6 configuration? Oh, can you do it? D6, if it is strong field, if it is weak field. Can you do it or not? Yes. Can you do for D6 now? Very good, it should be simple. Now D6, D7. Let us talk about D7 configuration now, okay? So if I have D7 configuration, I'll write down here strong field, I'll write down here weak field, okay? Strong field D7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Splitting pattern will be same. For octahedral complexes, there are 7 electrons, 1, 2, 3. Because it is strong field, so pairing will occur 4, 5, 6 and 7. Clear? And if it is weak field, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now how many unpaired electrons? N here is 1 and number of unpaired electrons here are 3. Correct or not? This orbital will be left as such. Hybridization will be sp3d2. Both are occupied. There also hybridization will be sp3d2. This also will be octahedral. This is also octahedral. Magnetic moment in this case will be root 3. Magnetic moment in this case will be root 8 because root 15 because number of unpaired electrons are 3, root 15. This one will be outer field complex. This also will be outer field complex. CFSE can be calculated, right? Electronic configuration will be T2G 6 EG1. Here it will be T2G 5 EG2. This is for weak field, this is for strong field. Then what about CFSE? It will be 6 into minus 0.4 minus 2.4 of delta 0 plus 0.6 of delta 0. It's a strong field. So how many pairings? Plus 3 pairings have occurred here. How many pairings? 3. In this, any pairing has occurred? 2 pairings, right? No. Pairing has not occurred because this is weak field. This is the general electronic configuration for this system we have. So T2G5, that will be 5 into 0.4, that makes it CFSE will be minus 2 of delta 0, 2 into plus 1.2 of delta 0 into no pairing, so that you can solve. Understood D7? D8, strong field, weak field, it should be understood now. D9 and D10, what about D10 configuration? So if it is D10, whether it is weak field or strong field, it doesn't matter. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whether it is strong field or weak field, it will be like that only. So no color. Because no unpaired electron, no transition possible here at all, right? What about CFSE? It will be again 0. Why? T2G6 EG4. How many electrons in EG? 6. 6 into minus 0.4 plus 4 into 0.6. That makes it minus 2.4 plus 2.4. CFSE will be 0. So children, for D0, for D5 and D10 electronic configurations, but D10 in weak field or strong field, D5 only in weak field, D0 in weak field or strong field, CFSE will always be 0. So this is crystal field splitting in which complex formation, tetrahedral or octahedral, octahedral. What about tetrahedral? Rules are same. The only thing is crystal field stabilization values will vary. Now E will be down, T2 will be up, number one. Number two, no pairing concept will come into play, because we have learnt that in case of tetrahedral complexes, the crystal field splitting energy is very less. So there is no question of pairing coming to play there at all. So in our next discussion, children, we will keep solving questions with respect to these. So we will continue with some applications more. Did you understand this or not? So I have left for you at home, which one? D6, D8, D9. You need to do these, and you have to use crystal field theory approach to solve for its different parameters like hybridization, inner field or outer field, low spin or high spin, then inner orbital or outer orbital complex, then crystal field stabilization energies. With respect to which field is it? Octahedral complex or tetrahedral? Octahedral complexes. Tetrahedral complexes, what will happen? It will be upside down. Diagrammatic analysis is same, resultants are same. The only thing is, rest of the things will be same. The only thing is you have to change the value of crystal field stabilization energy, and pairing concepts will not come into play. So you can do for configurations from, it's your homework children, from D1 to D10, calculate CFSE, crystal field stabilization energies, and for tetrahedral complexes, what is the formula? So CFSE equals to minus 0.6 of delta T into number of electrons in E plus 0.4 into number of electrons in T2. So there is no question of pairing coming to play, because crystal field splitting energy will be usually very less, and no concept of pairing comes into play there, right or not? Pairing will occur, but it will not be at the consumption of some energy atom. There will be no two options available in tetrahedral systems. So it's your homework children. Now if you have listened to the classes properly, every one of you should solve the questions and put the answers for different configurations in the comment section respectively. So you have to solve this clearly and carefully. Which system? Tetrahedral system. Am I clear? Magnetic moment calculation. Did you understand all these stories at itself at all? Yes or no? Right. Let us solve some questions, children, with respect to these, so that our ideas are very clear with respect to these concepts. So one question is, question 1 will solve here. Cr H2O6 2 plus Cr NH36 2 plus. I'll mention this A, I'll mention this one as B. CFSE is higher for. When I say CFSE, I'm talking about delta zero. Crystal field splitting energy is higher for A, B, both same, and D, data is incomplete. So you need further more things to cover it up. Think about it and solve the question and tell me the answer for this. Yes. Take 1 minute and solve the question. Octahedral splitting is higher for. So you have been given two complexes A and B. Yes. Now let's have a look. Chromium, what is a neutral again? Chromium is under +2 oxidation state. Chromium is under +2 oxidation state. Central metal atom is same. So nature of central metal atom and coordination number, that is same. So nature of central metal atom is same and oxidation state is also same. So you have made use of same metal atom, and we know for a same metal atom pairing energy will always be constant. Now the ligands that have been used are different. You have used water as a ligand and ammonia as a ligand. We know in spectrochemical series, water is a weaker ligand compared to that of ammonia. So stronger ligand forces more splitting, right or not? That means crystal field splitting energy, I will write delta 0 introduced by ammonia will be more than delta 0 introduced by water. So the correct option will be delta 0 will be higher for option B, because the ligand present in this complex is stronger. So if oxidation state and the metal atom used is same and coordination number even is same, then you have to look for which one? You have to look for the nature of a ligand, because that's only one determinant factor determining crystal field stabilization energy. Am I clear or not? Right. So think about this question, children, and solve it out. Very good. Let us see next question. Now we have a complex Ni, NH3, 6 times 2 plus. Okay, Ni, NH3, 6 times 2 plus. So using CFT approach, number of unpaired electrons are in this complex. If you use CFT approach, what will be the number of unpaired electrons? Technically, what will be the magnetic moment? So if you find out number of unpaired electrons, you can find out all parameters with respect to this question. So options for you are option 1, second is 3, third one is 2, and option 4 is 0. So the number of unpaired electrons in this complex are, so nickel, let us write it down. Nickel atomic number of nickel is 28. So electronic configuration outermost will be 3d8 4s2. We are not bothered about inner shells because we have learnt in CFT that there is no interaction between inner orbitals of ligands and central metal atom. So 3d8 4s2. In this case, ammonia is neutral ligand. Nickel has lost how many electrons? 2. So for nickel 2 plus atomic number 28, electronic configuration has to be 3d8. It will be 3d8. Now I have to use CFT approach, not VBT approach. VBT approach, all will be degenerate. Then you will put the layers. Ammonia is a stronger ligand, we know. So you should already be clear with this. Ammonia is a strong field ligand. So it will force pairing or not. Using VBT approach, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many electrons in nickel now available? 8. 1, 2, 3. Because it's a strong ligand, first force pairing will be forced. 4, 5, 6. How many are left out now? This is 7, this is 8. Had it been only 4 ligands, we might have thought there is a chance of square planar complex, but no, this is symmetrically filled. If it is symmetrically filled, then I told you a while earlier, John Taylor distortion will not occur. All the bonds will be of same length. Now pairing will not occur. Number of unpaired electrons are 2. It won't force pairing in EG. Why? Because they are degenerate. So electronic configuration becomes T2G6 Eg2. So the correct option will be option 3. Number of unpaired electrons are 2. That means magnetic moment will be √8. What is electronic configuration? T2G6 Eg2. Even if you want, you can calculate now CFSE. Now tell me, is any d orbital, inner orbital free? No. What is the hybridization then? sp3d2. It will be outer field complex. It will be paramagnetic with 2 unpaired electrons. And CFSE will be 6 into minus 0.4 plus 2 into 0.6 plus how many pairings? 3 pairings have occurred. Because this is strong field, so pairing has occurred here, right? So 6, 4, 24. Minus 2.4 of delta 0 plus 1.2 of delta 0 plus 3 pairings in octahedral field. That will make it minus 2.4 plus 1.2 of delta 0 plus 3 pairings. That will make it what? minus 1.2 of delta 0 plus 3 pairing energies. And in the question, if crystal field stimulating energy and pairing energy are given, you can easily calculate the total value of CFSE in terms of centimeter inverse, because remember delta 0 and PO will be given in terms of centimeter inverse, and if you want to convert that into kilojoules, as I said, the value calculatability is there. I have shown you the method to do that as well. So correct option will be 2 with respect to this question. These are the parameters you can get very easily. Write one more question, children. Yes. Find the hybridization CFSE magnetic moment of CR CN 6 times, complex is 3 minus. We can use various approaches to solve the question, but the most acceptable model that we will have crystal field theory, we can use that here. Now chromium, if you look on this complex here, children, very properly. So what do we have here? We have chromium, then you have got Cn, how many times? 6 times. Charge of the complex is 3 minus. It is hexacyano chromium 3 ion, name of the complex. It is minus 1. Already this complex has gained 3. Total needed inside the complex are 6. 3 are gained already. It means chromium should be under plus 3 state. Chromium's electronic configuration, if you look, it is 24. It is 3d5, 4s1. Chromium 3 plus will be 3d3 now, right? Now let us use crystal field theory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ligand field is Cn. That is strong field. Now there are total only electrons, how many? 3. So it will be 1, it will be 2, it will be 3. I have told you already in the discussions. If it is strong field or weak field, doesn't matter for D3 configuration. So these two orbitals are free. They will combine with 1s and 3p, result in the formation of what? D2sp3. How many? 6 orbitals, hybridized. Number of unpaired electrons are 3. Magnetic moment mu will be root of n into n plus 2. That makes it 3 root 15 Bohr magnetons. Now it will make use of orbitals of 3D. So it is inner orbital, outer orbital. It will be inner orbital. Also it is inner orbital. Usually what do we say? Inner orbitals are low spin complex, but that won't be correct here. So whenever you want to find out whether a system is inner field or outer field, low spin or high spin, it's very important and imperative to find out exactly the electronic structure of it. So there are 3 unpaired electrons. It will be high spin complex, and one more way we have to find out is CFSE. So children, crystal field stabilization energy will be minus 0.4 into 3, because electronic configuration is what? What's electronic configuration? T2G3. So electronic configuration of chromium is T2G3 Eg0, no pairing. So minus 0.4 into 3 of delta 0, that is minus 1.2 of delta 0. So as I mentioned, if delta 0 is also given to you, you can easily calculate crystal field stabilization energy for that complex. Am I clear? Let us use VBT approach for this. According to VBT approach, what will be there? Chromium 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? How many unpaired electrons? So 1, 2, 3. That also tells you magnetic moment will be root 15. Because magnetic moment will be root 15, only then you will find out there are 3 unpaired electrons, and then you will say Pairing has not been forced. Now that answer cannot be given by VBT. Why pairing is not occurring? Because degeneracy is broken. And now this is set of 2d orbitals, T2g and Eg. For pairing to occur, it should have a chance, the electron should have a chance to go to Eg or to T2g. But there is no chance for this at all. So VBT cannot answer this question itself. Right? So whenever you are solving questions with respect to magnetic moment, directly go to crystal field theory and find out the answer of your questions. Right or not? Right. We have one more question here, children. We have IR Cl6 3 minus. This is the complex. And we will find out all the parameters. We will find out hybridization, inner or outer field, magnetic moment, low spin or high spin complex, then the shape, number of unpaired electrons, all those characteristic properties we will find with respect to iridium Cl6 3 minus. Yes, children, start to solve this question and see what will be the answer of this question. Let me tell you, iridium outermost electronic configuration is 5d7 6s2. This is the outermost electronic configuration of iridium. So iridium belongs to which family? Cobalt family. Cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. Cobalt electronic configuration is what? 3d7. This is 4d7, 5d7. Now important thing. Now keep in mind factors affecting crystal field splitting energy and decide what is going to happen here. I've given you 1 minute to solve this question. Yes. Let us solve it. 5d7 6s2 3 minus. There are 6 chlorines each with -1. Iridium has to lose 3 electrons, so +3. So iridium +3 configuration will be what? 5d7 6s2. It will be 5d6 and 6s2 will be lost, 2 from S and 1 from D. It will be 5d6 electronic configuration of iridium +3. Right? Then, once I am using crystal field theory approach, 2 chlorine is a weak field or strong field? Chlorine is a weak field ligand. There is no doubt in this case. So what do we consider is 1, 2, 3. Because it's a weak field ligand, so crystal field splitting energy will be less than pairing energy. At that time, when the splitting energy, amount of energy required for electron to go to higher energy state, means Eg set. This is T2g set and this is Eg set. Amount of energy required to go into Eg set is less. So electron would like to unpair because chlorine is a weak field ligand. So there are 6 electrons on the whole, 1, 2, 3. So there will be 4, 5 and then 6th electron will enter into T2g set. Then according to this complex will be sp3 d2 hybridized because all the 3d orbitals are used. It will make use of d orbitals of 4d to accommodate 6 ligands which are coming for bond formation. Because 6 are coming, 6 orbitals should be provided. These 2 cannot be provided from Eg set of D. So it will be sp3 d2 hybridization. Then the number of unpaired electrons are 3. What will be magnetic moment? Root 15. However, when you look on the experimental magnetic value of this complex, it comes equal to 0. Indicating that there is no unpaired electron in the complex and even the hybridization will change. Then it becomes D2sp3. That logically means these 2 electrons from Eg set are not going there, rather they are going to T2g set. What has chlorine done? It has forced pairing to occur. Means chlorine, which is a weak ligand, is acting as a strong ligand. So chlorine, when interacting with iridium or heavier D block elements, any weak ligand will act as a strong ligand. So what has happened here? Logic is already clear. What? Factors affecting CFSE. One of the factor I said was nature of the D block element being used. Whether you are using it from 3D, 4D or 5D. You are using 5D orbital here. As a result, 5D orbital's periphery will be bigger. One is the periphery is bigger. The ligand will be able to interact with it very strongly because ligand will be very close to the bigger periphery. Yes, as ligand is interacting with it strongly, CFSE becomes higher. So postulate changes. CFSE becomes more than pairing energy. As a result, it forces pairing. Thus, iridium Cl6, it's a concept here where chlorine is acting as a strong ligand. This is not coming from air. This is not hypothetically derived conclusion that I told you. On the basis of experiment I told you. No. When experiment gives you the result, it indicates that something different is happening. And I have already told you the logic behind it. Whenever you have a heavier D block element, crystal field splitting energy increases by 50%. Increases by 50% means what? The CFSE, difference between the two will be much higher. As a result of that, electron loves to pair up under those circumstances. And even when you calculate CFSE for this, it will be with respect to T2G6 Eg0. Then rest of the things become easy. So hybridization D2sp3, magnetic moment 0. It will be again octahedral. Here CFSE will be 6 into minus 0.4 of delta 0. Plus how many pairings? 3 pairings. So children, CFSE will be 6 into minus 0.4 of delta 0. No electron in Eg. Plus how many pairings? 3 pairings. So that will be minus 2.4 of delta 0 plus 3 pairings will come in. Did you get it? So suppose platinum chloride, PtCl4, again a weak ligand, but there it will act as strong ligand. Usually in first D series, that is 3D series and 4D series, usually the very weak ligands will not act as strong ligands. However, with the heavier D block elements, they will act as strong ligands, the reason I have clearly mentioned. Am I clear? Okay, children. In our next class, children, we will have a discussion on the kinetic stability of coordination compounds, and we will continue solving questions with respect to crystal field, valence bond theory and other approaches. Am I clear? Or clear or not? Consistently will be solving questions, so application based things will be dealing with. Am I clear? You are understanding the logic here clearly? Right. Thank you, children.